Hello there, welcome to Disney Parks Addict. Today, we will be checking out all the rides and attractions at the Magic Kingdom Park in Walt Disney World. Let's get straight into the video, starting with Adventureland. First up, we have the Jungle Cruise. This is the classic boat ride that takes you through different jungles all over the world, as you encounter animals, natives, and of course the backside of water. For me, this is one of Disney's classic attractions that can be enjoyed at many of the Disney parks around the world, but Magic Kingdoms will always have a special place in my heart. Next, we have the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Now, I haven't ridden this ride in a while, but I do remember it not being as good as Dumbo, which is a similar ride but more iconic. On to another classic attraction, the Pirates of the Caribbean. I know some people say that the Disneyland version is far better than Magic Kingdom's, but I still think they are both great. Even with the many changes and additions that have been made over the years, it still holds up today as it did when it first opened in 1973, and is a must-ride attraction every time we visit Magic Kingdom. Another plus, due to the high load capacity, it never really has a long wait time, so it can be enjoyed without having to use a fast pass. On to our first show, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. This was an opening day attraction and still delights guests today with the amazing audio animatronic birds, flowers, and totem poles singing the beloved soundtrack. I wasn't a fan of the addition of the under new management theme with Iago and Zuzu, so I'm glad they reverted back to the original in 2011. Even if you're not a fan, you can still enjoy the AC and rest from the busy, crowded park. The last attraction in Adventureland is the Swiss Family Treehouse. This is a nice walk-around attraction, giving you some great views of Adventureland. It never has any wait time, so it's a great place to kill some time if you're waiting for a dining reservation or a fast pass. I like that it kept the Swiss Family Robinson theming instead of changing it to the Tarzan theme like at Disneyland and Hong Kong Disneyland. Now on to Frontierland, where we will start with the Country Bear Jamboree. This is an awesome little show featuring the amazing audio animatronic bears singing tongue-in-cheek country songs. Again, you rarely have to wait for the show, so I thoroughly recommend watching this if you haven't before. Next, we have the attraction that has been in the news lately, Splash Mountain. Don't get me wrong, I like this attraction in its current form, but I'm so excited about the recent announcement for it to be rethemed to a Princess and the Frog attraction. Disney has been trying to hide this attraction's relation to the Song of the South movie for years, and I believe it's about time they made this change. Luckily, I enjoy change, and I can't wait to see all the additions to this amazing attraction. Next to Splash Mountain is the second of 3 mountain rides in the park, and that is the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This was one of the first roller coasters I ever tried, and will forever be etched into my memory. The cranking of the train as it goes up the lift hill, the smell of smoke throughout the attraction, the sound of screams going around corners, and the rush of adrenaline as you exit the vehicle all adds to a very exciting experience. The final attraction in Frontierland is the Tom Sawyer Island. It's not an attraction I visit every time I go to the Magic Kingdom, but I certainly appreciate this area of the park where you can go to relax and unwind away from the crowds. Let's move on to the smallest land in the park, Liberty Square, starting with the Hall of Presidents. I don't really like this attraction, but it's a good place to cool down on a hot day and marvel at the amazing audio animatronics. I understand that it is popular with the American guests, but it feels a bit like political propaganda to me. Luckily, Liberty Square has another attraction, that's of course the Haunted Mansion. This is another classic Disney attraction, offering great theming, a fun storyline, and awesome special effects. If you want to know more about this attraction, then check out the YouTube channel Offhand Disney for his in-depth knowledge of all the haunted mansions that Disney has to offer. We now go from the smallest land to the biggest. Let's take a look at the 10 attractions in Fantasyland. Let's start with Dumbo the Flying Elephant. I have already added this to my Hong Kong and Shanghai Disneyland tier lists, which you can check out in the top corner here, Now onto the classic Disney attraction that I don't like, and that is It's a Small World. I understand the family-friendly appeal, but it just does nothing for me. The repetitive song and creepy dolls makes it feel more like a nightmare than a children's boat ride. Next is the Mad Tea Party, and again, it's a ride I don't really enjoy. I don't usually get nauseous, but this gets me every time, and I curse myself every time someone convinces me to go on. Now onto something a little bit better, the 3D show PhilharMagic. This is a great show filled with classic Disney characters and a fun storyline. I wish there were more attractions featuring Donald Duck, but this will have to do. On to another classic dark ride, Peter Pan's Flight. Although I prefer the version at Shanghai Disneyland, I appreciate that they still updated the Magic Kingdom's queue line with cool interactive elements. Next, we have the Prince Charming Regal Carousel. Although it's a definitive Fantasyland attraction, I understand that it's not for me, but I still like listening and watching everybody else enjoy this ride. Until Tron comes along, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is still the newest roller coaster in the park. I love the audio animatronics and the little storyline elements, but it's just not as thrilling as the other roller coasters in the park. Straight on to another roller coaster, the Barnstormer featuring the Great Goofini. This was originally in Mickey's Toontown, but it was moved and added to the new Fantasyland expansion in 2012. It's a fun little kids coaster and a great way to introduce them to thrilling rides. Next, we have the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I am still a little bitter that this replaced Mr. Toad's Wild Ride 21 years ago, but I can understand the change to a more relevant IP. It's a fun dark ride, but can also be found at Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, and Shanghai Disneyland. Now we come to the last attraction in Fantasyland, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. This dark ride was added in 2011 and is one of the weakest in the park. I'm a fan of the Little Mermaid film, but didn't really enjoy this attraction. I think it would have worked better with a trackless ride system, which offers a variety of movement and would have been perfect for the Under the Sea setting. Now we move on to the last land, and probably my favorite of the park. It is of course Tomorrowland. Let's start with the rocket spinner attraction, the Astro Orbiter. Another ride that spins and goes up and down. It's not as fun as Dumbo, but still better than the magic carpets of Aladdin. Next, we have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, the shooting dark ride that lets you compete with your friends and family on who can get the highest score. I can't believe this ride is now 22 years old, but with the addition of Midway Mania at Hollywood Studios, it certainly feels a little dated. 5 more attractions to go. Next up, we have the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. This is a fun show that uses audience interaction to create some family-friendly laughs. Sure, some of the jokes are overused and repetitive, but every once in a while, you'll get a fantastic show with some original jokes. Now onto the Tomorrowland Speedway. As a kid, I remember loving this attraction as I was able to drive a real car for the first time. As an adult, you realize how slow and restricting this ride can be. It's still enjoyable as you get to see different areas of the park. Next is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. I can't believe how many people overlook this attraction. It's a 10-minute relaxing ride which gives you elevated views of the park, as well as inside of some of the attractions in Tomorrowland. You get to see the old model of Epcot, and if you're lucky, the inside of Space Mountain with the lights on. The penultimate attraction is Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. Originally designed for the 1964 World's Fair, it was added to Magic Kingdom in 1975 after a short run at Disneyland. To say that this is a classic Walt Disney attraction would be an understatement. Full of the amazing audio animatronics, as it shows you the development of technology through the years. I would prefer to see this attraction get updated rather than added to the Walt Disney archives. Unfortunately, the last 2 times I tried to view this attraction, someone decided to leave mid-show, resulting in all the audience having to leave the attraction. And now we move on to the last attraction and one of my favorites in the park, Space Mountain. With the futuristic queue line and exciting roller coaster, This is an attraction not to be missed. I love the almost pitch black setting, which doesn't let you know which direction the ride will go, leaving you with an exhilarating experience. So that wraps up the attraction guide for all the rides and attractions in the Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and if you want more, you can check out my other tier lists for the different parks and resorts from around the world. Thanks for watching.